it. You always call me a dainty princess.
I like it sometimes, but that was ridiculous.
Hi, y'all, and welcome back. We have another Instagram Q&A. But first, as always, we have a picture of one of my babies. So this is a picture of Bunny. She's begging for treats. She does this multiple times a day. She's the hungriest little thing you'll ever meet, and I actually have a video of it. Before we get into it, I also want to say Bunny has this really cute thing she does, and I want y'all to let me know if any of your animals have this too, because I've never heard of it. So whenever someone sneezes or coughs or just makes a loud noise in general, Bunny will chirp, and to me it kind of feels like she's saying, "Hush it up over there, I'm trying to sleep." So I want to thank y'all so much for being here. And let's just get right into this Instagram Q&A. So someone asked, what does Mama Lynn think about Tommy? Amber responded she really likes her. And I think we all expected this answer, mostly because Amberlynn's not going to say, oh, Mama Lynn hates her. But also I think Mama Lynn probably does like Tommy because she took Amber off her hands. Mama Lynn doesn't have to be her Uber anymore. She passed her off to the feeder. Next, somebody asked, you should use Twitch to stream since YouTube is playing around. Amber said YouTube isn't playing around, I just haven't been uploading. I'm taking a break, which I do frequently. And I don't know whether this person was implying that YouTube was down or that they banned Amber for a week so she couldn't upload. But either way, I don't know why they would phrase it like that YouTube is playing around. And also, I don't think Amberlynn could string together her one brain cell to figure out how to use Twitch. And even if she could, she's way too lazy. Someone else asked, when you say you have an obsession with highlighters, do you mean as in makeup or markers? Amber said markers. And I guess this person hasn't been paying attention because obviously she's talking about markers. But could you imagine if Amber was back on her makeup obsession and she was buying like a bunch of highlighter palettes? I mean, that would be even more expensive. That would be crazy, especially if she smeared it all over her already greasy face. Ooh, but maybe in that case, she'd look even more like the moon, and then that would be proof that it's real. So next, somebody asked, a moment that significantly changed your perception of life? Amber responded, getting diagnosed with cancer. It maybe changed Amber's perception of life, but ever since she was diagnosed and ever since she was treated, nothing in her life has changed. She's made no dietary changes. She's made no changes to her exercise routine. It's non-existent. She really hasn't done anything to prevent sickness in the future or really get her life on track. So I don't know why she's saying, oh, it was the biggest thing that changed my life. I mean, clearly it didn't. Your life is the exact same now as it was before you were diagnosed. So next we have an extremely rare find in these Q&As. We have an actually cute one. Someone asked, what's the most recent picture in your camera roll? Amber responded, Rarity, with a cute picture of Rarity sleeping. And it's so adorable, of course. I do want to say, though, I don't believe that this was her most recent picture. I could easily see Amber just going into her camera roll and picking a picture of one of her pets and putting it up here to kind of prove to people that, oh, they're with me all the time and I care about them so much, when in reality, her most recent picture was like Salami at the McDonald's picking up her 20-piece McNugget. So before this next one, I don't know about y'all, I don't want to sound like Amber and her quirkiness here, but y'all ever go on Instagram or on YouTube and there's a video or multiple videos with the same soundbite, a certain song, and you just can't get it out of your head? There's this one song that I've just been reciting like all day, and I cannot get it out of my head, and I've been singing it like in between these questions, and it's driving me nuts. It's the one that goes like, and then I go and spoil it all and say something stupid like, I love you. And I actually don't know where that song is from, but it's driving me crazy and I cannot get it out of my head. And I don't know why I just had to stick that one in here, but let's keep it pushing. Someone asked, what have you been up to in the past few weeks you haven't been uploading? And Amber said, enjoying life without filming it. I just needed it. Please understand. And no, Big Albert, I don't understand. You just needed it. You just needed a break. You have the lowest effort content I think I've ever seen on the entirety of YouTube. You stick a camera in your face for 10 minutes and film you eating, and then that's it for like the next 2 days. You do nothing. What do you mean you need a break? You don't even edit. So the next one's annoying. Somebody asked, do you ever get asked to do interviews, shows, sponsors, podcasts, or anything? Amber responded, most recent things I've been asked to do was be a part of a plus-size modeling competition for a website, and I was asked by a journalist for NBC to do an interview, but I declined both things. I have a bad habit of doing that. And y'all already know what I'm gonna say because you're thinking the exact same thing. Like somebody went and saw Amber on the internet and they were like, yes, I am the director of a plus-size modeling campaign, and I am just she just needs to be our next top model. Oh yeah, we're going to email her and we're going to get her a part of the crew, and it's just no, nobody's asking Amber to shove herself into a 20X torrid dress and waddle down a runway. So next we have a reaction channel question, and there's actually quite a few in this Q&A. Somebody asked, do you still dislike salty crab? Also, I miss your videos, but your mental health is important. Amber said, I've only ever seen one salty crab video.
Sure, Jan.
And it was when they doxed/revealed who Valentine/Erica was. My jaw was on the floor. But I don't really have any opinion on them. I have an opinion on what they did, though. And I actually don't know much about this situation, but hasn't it been proven that Amberlynn was following Erica on her Instagram? And also, any information that led to Erica being revealed was information that Amberlynn on her channel said. And whoop-de-doo, Amberlynn has an opinion on what reaction channels do. Big shocker there. So this next one's really nasty. Somebody asked what was the first picture you took with Tommy. Amber put a picture of her and Tommy in the Jeep with the gross devil horn filter. And Amber said, in the Jeep she surprised me with, exactly 3 months ago. By the way, today is our 4-month talk-iversary. And side note here, but doesn't it feel a lot longer than 3 months to y'all? She's been with Tommy. It's felt like forever she's been with that feeder. Maybe it's because she's had these back-to-back relationships, but it feels a heck of a lot longer than just 3 months. And also, look at the damage done to Amber in just 3 months. Imagine what 3 more months is going to look like. She gonna blow up and look like the blueberry girl from Willy Wonka. And this next one is a great transition because it just proves my last point. Someone asked, you should post the crumble video on X or Reddit. Amber said, you guys are going to be disappointed once you see it because it's been blown out of proportion for sure. It's still a sexy video though. And this last sentence is crazy and disgusting because Amber in the past at least had some semblance of shame. She would talk about how she ate this or ate that, and she felt ashamed for it, and she felt bad, and that she was gonna start over on Monday, and we all knew that was BS, but at least she was trying then. Now she just straight up is saying how a video of her sitting down, half naked, shoving a cookie down her throat is sexy. She has zero shame, and we all know why. She can claim time and time again Tommy's not a feeder, Tommy doesn't make decisions, and Tommy has no influence on Amber's weight, but clearly the evidence shows that she does, and she does big time. This total change of Amber from feeling ashamed about what she ate to feeling proud about a video of her eating at 600 pounds is totally a result of Salami. And yes, of course, this is so gross, but it's also really sad. It's just showing that Amber's completely given up on her health, and beyond that, she's proud of how she's destroying her body. Somebody else asked, how do you deal with people constantly putting words in your mouth? Amber said, it's definitely exhausting. I undershare and people use it as an excuse to speculate and create rumors. I overshare and people say it's because I'm lying. I can never win, so I just am me. And I don't think people put words in her mouth. I think Amber just says something and then later on people remind her of it. And she's like, oh no, I never said that. You guys are totally blowing things out of proportion. I never said that. As is the theme with every single one of these questions, and honestly as is the theme of her entire life, She's a hypocrite and she can never take accountability. She's always the victim, and if somebody says something that she doesn't like, she backtracks and claims that we're all just speculating and creating rumors and just hate her and are ruining her life, when in reality, the only one ruining her life is her. She visibly ruins her body by eating, and she ruins her mental health by choosing to be on the internet and sharing all this information. If you want to protect yourself, get off the internet. It's like she doesn't realize that she doesn't have to upload. She doesn't have to be 600 pounds. It's all a choice that she's making. And as for the undersharing, oversharing thing, I think that all Amberlynn does is overshare, and I think she mistakes undersharing with oversharing. And an example is her talking about Erica. She's claiming that, I said so little information about Erica, and so people speculated and made rumors and doxed her, when in reality, in my opinion at least, she's oversharing, because if she didn't want us talking about Erica, and if she didn't want us speculating about Erica, then how about you don't bring her up at all? And another great example is back in the day when Amberlynn would go to the hospital and then she'd come home, and she would film herself in the hospital, by the way. She at one point was filming her IV in her arm, and then she'd come home and say, I don't really want to talk about my diagnosis. I just kind of want to move on from it. And so, of course, people are going to speculate as to what was wrong with her, and that's another great example of her thinking she's undersharing by not telling us things, but in reality, she's oversharing. If you don't want us talking about it, if you don't want us thinking about it, then how about you don't tell us at all? So this next one's a wild one. Somebody asked, I want to be you for Halloween. Which era should I be? And Amber put a picture of when she walked to the tree, and this was back in the Beck era. And yes, I do think this is probably her most iconic era. If y'all don't know, this was during the gaycare era, and this was when she was at her biggest and her most controversial. And so I see why, maybe I'd want to be Amber during this era, because it's definitely recognizable with the torrid dress and the leggings and the greasy poop bun and the flats. But I'm curious as to why Amber would want someone to pick this time in her life, because she said in the past that this was the most difficult and worst time in her entire life. She was sick all the time. She was huge, and she still is, although she claims she's not. She couldn't shower or do a lot of the things she wanted to do. And she told us later on that she was miserable during this time. So it's curious why she would pick this time in her life as the time somebody should replicate for a Halloween costume. But then again, maybe it was because she looked the scariest during this time. I mean, that big poop bun, that was horrifying. So next somebody asked, the last thing you bought no longer exists. What was it? Amber responded, a new Lego. And while I'm pretty dang certain she has bought a new Lego soon, the last thing she probably bought was food, and she just couldn't fathom the thought of that food no longer existing, so she couldn't even bring herself to type the words orange chicken, and so she had to just play it off, the last thing was a new Lego. Ooh, that one's easier to let go of. Someone asked, how did Tommy ask you to be her girlfriend? Amber said, she said I'd be so lucky if you were mine, and then she asked me to be her girlfriend. It was really sweet. But keep in mind, y'all, the story of how the two met likely went more like this. It was a dark and stormy night. Tommy was heading home after attending her late girlfriend's funeral. All of a sudden, she pulled out her phone to go scroll on Instagram, take her mind off the situation. She saw an ad for the Cheesecake Factory and decided to click on the comments. Maybe she'd find a new gal pal. She saw the name Amberlynn Reid pop up with a message that said, oh, please, orange chicken, come to me. Slami said, oh, baby, I'll come to you all right. She DM'd Amber and the rest is history. So next somebody asked, how could you ever trust Alexis again? Be careful about who you let into your life. Amber said, just because I'm friends with her doesn't mean I trust her fully, and I think she knows that. We're working on our friendship. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't think I could ever be best friends with someone again, or even regular friends with somebody who simply turned on me in a snap and revealed all of my information online. And that's not to say Amber didn't deserve it. I'm just saying if I was in her situation, I would not just run back to Alexis and go hand in hand again. So this next one we touched on previously in a question. This one and her response in particular is so infuriating. Someone asked, how did cancer change your view on life if you still eat badly? Amber said, I'm sorry, but life is so much more than what I put in my mouth. I could write a whole 25-page essay regarding this question. And go ahead, writer Lynn. Go ahead. Write your 25-page essay. Write it and put it up on your Instagram story. And then we'll go on and we'll all edit and correct your grammar. Her response is so frustrating. And if you don't know anything about Amber, this response shows you that she is so manipulative and will twist your words to fit her own narrative. She said, life is so much more than what I put in my mouth. Why are you preaching this to us? Why are you preaching this to this commenter who clearly knows that if they're writing you this question? They're asking, how did cancer change your view on life if you still eat badly? You just claimed in a past question that, oh, cancer did change my life. It changed my whole outlook. Well, like I said before, you're sure not acting like it. You're not making any changes to your diet. You're not making any changes to better your health. So what do you mean life is so much more than what you put in your mouth? Clearly it's not to you, because you're not taking life and enjoying it. You're taking life and stuffing your mouth with it. And I could go on, but I'm not going to be saying anything that y'all aren't also thinking. I mean, how manipulative is this response? And also, it makes no sense, because she's trying to make points and be like, oh, this person's so dumb. Duh, life is so much more. Yeah, we know that, Amberlynn. Why are you telling us that? How about you look in a mirror and tell yourself that? Maybe if you did tell yourself that once a year, you wouldn't be 700 pounds. She's getting me all riled up, and I do not need to be all riled up. So I think the fact that she said, oh, I could write a 25-page essay, but I'm not going to, I think that her chat GPT needed to be updated, and she was too lazy to update it, so she just ended her response there. Y'all, I had to take a break after that last one. That was terrible. We're actually going to have an intermission, so here's another kitty picture. So here's my snow boots. She has her bean toes out. She sleeps here every single night in between my pillow and my headboard. And all of her paws are white, and so I think it's neat that all of her beans are brown. And then part 2 of our intermission is going to be a video of little Bunny cleaning Deacon. Alright, and now we gotta get back into the nonsense. Someone said, you doxed Erica though. Amber responded, I said her first name, literally a name. I could have been making up the name and no one would have known. I can say anyone's first name all day long when there's 346 million people in the USA. I never showed her, never said her last name, never revealed her Instagram, never said where she lived, never said where she worked, etc. I would never have done that. People seem to also forget that doxing is also about the intent and the goal. Salty Crab knew what they were doing. They took a 5-letter name and ran with it because they had a tiny bit of information and spread it to thousands of people. Now that's doxing. And so I'm going to do something here that I don't normally do in these Q&A reacts. I usually keep all of the questions in the same order they were asked, the order that Amber has them on her Instagram story, but since there's a whole thread about Erica going on right now, I actually grouped all the questions about Erica right here so we can go through and see. Is this another one of Amberlynn's laws, or is she telling her very first truth? Find out right here, right now. Someone else said, girl, you know the type of audience you have. Don't be surprised they found Erica. Amber responded, no one would have found her if it wasn't for Salty Crab literally knowing who she was. That's the only reason why Erica was doxxed. Then someone said, Erica doxed herself. People want you to be the villain so bad, lol. Amber said her wife contacted Salty Crab and told her who Erica was. Salty Crab then took that information and revealed it. It's really super simple. I can stay the villain for people even if I'm not always in the wrong, lol. And here, y'all, is where we get into the laws. Somebody asked, were you ever following Erica on Instagram? Is that how Salty Crab found her? Amber said, no, we weren't following each other on anything. Now keep this in mind. Somebody else said, you and Erica were following each other. It was easy to find. Crab just proved it to be correct. Amber replied, Erica and I were not following each other on Instagram. I never followed her because I didn't want anyone to know who she was. She never followed me because she didn't want Brittany to know about me. And actually, I want to point out something that I never realized until now. So Amber's last sentence was, Erica never followed me because she didn't want Brittany to know about me. Well, this actually must be false, because if y'all remember during the whole Erica drama, it was revealed that Erica and Brittany, the whole reason they started talking to Amberlynn, that Erica started talking to Amberlynn, was because her and Brittany kind of just wanted to prank Amber in a way. They wanted to message her and see if she would respond, and obviously the situation went a little further than they expected. So obviously Brittany did know about Amberlynn. She knew that they had been talking at one point. She didn't know how far the situation escalated, but clearly that's false, that Erica wasn't following Amber because, she didn't want her wife to find out about it, because Brittany already knew about it. Brittany knew that Erica knew who Amberlynn was, and she knew that Erica had messaged Amberlynn at one point, acting as kind of bait. So this sentence would maybe make sense a few months ago, before the whole situation was revealed, and we kind of found out the motive behind the whole Erica thing, but her saying this response like yesterday, it's just showing that she is a continual liar and will lie about anything, even when there is proof that it's false. And before we keep going, y'all, I just have to say, if you hear like scratching in the background, Snowboots is currently in a cardboard box and she is just scratching and scratching, and I cannot get her to stop. So next, somebody said there's literally screenshots of you following Erica's account. Amber said, I feel absolutely insane. Is this gaslighting? LMAO. I did not follow her while we were dating. If someone has the screenshot, show me. Thanks. And this is the last one before I show y'all said screenshot. Somebody again said, there's a screenshot of Erica following you, LOL. Amber said, there's so many Ericas following me, so if she was, I didn't know. I know for sure I never followed her or interacted with her Instagram at all, besides privately. And in this next screenshot, we'll see Amberlynn was, in fact, following Erica on Instagram. And this next question is a lighter one, so this is going to be the last one for this part, because I do want to get this video up. I know I didn't upload yesterday, y'all, and I'm sorry. I've had so much homework to do, and I've had piano to practice, so I didn't get a chance to put anything up yesterday, but I'll put this up tonight, and I'll put something else up tomorrow. I do have 2 exams on Thursday in calculus and linear algebra and programming, but I'm still going to be continuing to upload, of course, and we'll be chugging on through these Instagram Q&As. So this person asked, do you still put chips on your sandwiches? Amber responded, if I had a sandwich and had some chips, you bet your butt I'll be putting them chips on that sandwich. And all I gotta say for this one is, of course she would. So this is Saul. He's just as fluffy as he is sassy, and he has a little distinguished mustache. He wants to say thank y'all so much for watching, and that we'll see you again tomorrow. I love y'all. Bye-bye.